You cutting up some potatoes, Grandmama?
I am. Good morning, y'all.
I like your shirt. That Christmas scene on there. That's
Thank
pretty.
you, my snowman.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I have a snowman on my dishwasher too. My magnet's a snowman.
Mm-hmm.
So,
You got a
and
new one over here.
hey, I have snowmen on my refrigerator. Don't do it. Don't turn it so fast. It'll make them drunk.
Makes people fall out of the
Oh
chairs.
yeah, it does. Okay, today, y'all, I'm going to make a potato and ground beef casserole. My family absolutely loves it. I told y'all yesterday on a video that my grandson and his wife Hannah just had their fourth little girl born the day before Thanksgiving, and so I called her and I said, "Honey, what do you want me to make y'all to eat?" And she said, "Grandma, we love that ground beef and hash brown casserole." So that's what I'm making them today, and I'm making one for here also. Now, I do mine a little different from a lot of people probably, and you can do it. There are two ways you can do your potatoes. I'm going to pre-cook my potatoes in water. I cut them up. You can either slice them up uh, like this. Honey, if you'll come over here. You can slice them like this and have little rounds in your casserole, or you can cut them in chunks. And I like to cut them in chunks because they're easier to eat that way. And I like to pre-cook mine in water because it cooks in less time in the oven. So, and the less time I can have my oven on, the better. But you can put your potatoes in raw, cover it with aluminum foil, and cook it, but it takes twice the time. So I just like to pre-cook mine a little bit in water. So I'm just cutting my potatoes in little bite-sized pieces, maybe inch and a half. Okay. And then behind me, I have got some ground beef. Now, Hannah and Hunter's girls don't like onions, so in the one I fixed for us, I'm going to put onions. I've already sauteed some onions back here in my little skillet. And in my frying pan, you can come right here, baby, if you want to. In my frying pan, there's about a pound of ground beef and a half a pound of ground deer in here. And I had a half a pound in the freezer, so I just thawed it of the ground deer, and I just thawed it out, and I took the ground beef out yesterday. Now, for this, the way I'm going to season this is I'm going to use garlic, cream of mushroom soup. I've got some fire roasted tomatoes right here. They're in little chunks. They're diced that I'm going to put in Hunter and Hannah's. And I've got some tomato sauce. Well, really, it was tomato paste, and I wanted to make it tomato sauce, so I just put some water in it and about a tablespoon of sugar, and that made my tomato paste tomato sauce. So garlic, onion, cream of mushroom, tomato, onions, potatoes, and ground beef. It's going to be simple, but I'm going to go ahead and salt and pepper my ground beef as I cook it. And I've got it on medium high. So as soon as it starts cooking, I'll keep it stirred, and I will season it with my garlic and my garlic powder and onion powder. Even though the girls don't like onions, they don't mind the onion powder because they don't have to chew them up. So I'm gonna put onion powder in theirs. But as soon as my ground beef gets ready, then I'll drain whatever grease is off, and then I will season it with my garlic and onion. So I'm just going to let this cook, brown. I'm going to keep cutting my potatoes. And when I get my potatoes cut, I'll cover them in water, and I'll cook them just till they are al dente, not done. You don't want them really done because they'll tear up. I just want to get a head start on them. So I'm going to keep cutting, and I will put my potatoes on, and then I'll be back in just a few minutes. Okay, y'all, this is onion powder. It's something I got at Ollie's. If y'all don't have an Ollie's, y'all need to go to Ollie's. I just said Ollie's. Ollie's, Ollies. I love Ollie's. This is onion powder, but I don't know that I've ever seen any of those. Look at that. That is really powdery. What I usually get is, I guess like little granules or something, but this is like pure powder. So I put two teaspoons of onion powder. I've already drained all the grease off my ground beef. Okay. That was 1 teaspoon of garlic powder, 2 teaspoons of onion powder. All right, now this is like a half a can of cream of mushroom soup. I made, what did I make yesterday? Oh, I made a little cheeseburger casserole, and I put some cream of mushroom soup in it. I made it for Mike. And this is another whole can that I'm putting. Now this says 98% fat free. That's all they had. So sometimes you just have to get what they have. And that's fine because I don't mind the fat free. All right, I'll stir this up and see if I need to add any more. Because I'm making two nice casseroles. So, but I think probably that's going to be enough. That was a can and a half. And these are 10.5 ounce cans of cream of mushroom soup. All right. Now, all the salt and pepper I put in it is just what I put in when I was browning my ground beef. I'll taste of it before I start making the casserole and make sure that it's got enough salt and pepper in it. Okay. All right. My potatoes are just now beginning to come up to a boil. So I'm going to cook them probably 12 to 15 minutes. I figure it's about how long it's going to take. And so we've still got our tomatoes and our onions. And as soon as my potatoes get ready and I drain all the water off of them, and this is a hint, always start your potatoes in cold water. Never start potatoes that you're cooking on top of the stove in hot water because it'll cook the outside before the inside gets done and you'll have mushy potatoes on the outside and not quite done on the inside. So always start your potatoes in cold water. Just a little hint. I almost forgot, y'all. Sour cream. This, I'm putting a half a cup of sour cream in it. And when I stir it up, I will know if that's going to be enough. I can tell by looking at it if it is. So that was a half a cup of sour cream. Okay, I think. Because I can always tell by the creaminess of it whether I need to add more sour cream, more cream of mushroom soup. But that looks pretty good to me. Okay, my potatoes cooked. They got done quickly today. They cooked in like 10 minutes. And to the point where I wanted them. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put some potatoes on the bottom of my casserole dish.
You don't want these to be mushy, do you, darling?
No, you do not. Don't want them to be mushy. And I'm just going to do this in layers. Okay. So that's a layer of potatoes. All right, now I'm going to do a layer of my ground beef, sour cream, and cream of mushroom mixture. And I tasted of it. I did add a little bit more onion powder to it, but the rest of the seasonings were really, really good. All right, now this is Colby Jack, sharp cheddar, and this is white sharp cheddar. So I'm just going to kind of mix them in my casserole dish. You don't need a whole bunch of cheese. I've got Roy grated it for me, and we got a little bit too much grated, but that's okay. All right, we're going to put another layer of potatoes. Oh, shoot, I forgot my little tomatoes. Just put a few of your, unless you want a bunch now.
What kind of tomatoes are those?
These are fire roasted potatoes.
Little chunks.
Just little dices. I'm not sure how the children like them, so I'm not putting a bunch. Now, if it was just us, I'd put juice and everything in there. But since I'm not sure about them, I'm just putting a few.
You and I don't eat potatoes like this, but once a month, something like that, because of our low carb, low diets. But but we've got family members that don't eat like we do.
Right.
And so but anybody can eat potatoes once in a while and still stay on a healthy diet if you just don't go overboard with carbs.
This is going to be a big casserole. And let me tell you something. I left my burner on. I didn't mean to, but I left it on low, and it dried my my meat mixture out more than I wanted to. So I just added like a 4th cup of milk to it and loosened it back up, and it was perfect. So, all right, that's another layer of my meat mixture. I'm going to put a few more tomatoes, not many. This is just to give it some color, and so the children can pick them out if they really don't want them. All right, now I'm going to top it with some of my cheeses. I'm probably going to use 2 cups all together, inside and on top. All right, my oven is set for 350 degrees, and I'm going to put this in, and I'm going to let it cook about 30 minutes until it gets real bubbly. Now, I'm going to show you how I'm going to do this one. Now, I'm not going to layer this one. This is for Mike, so I'm just going to dump everything in it, stir it up, and he likes onions, so I sauteed some onions. So I'm just going to kind of stir everything up together, put cheese on top, and that's going to be his. Sorry, baby, I got the thing in your way.
No, that's fine.
All right. I'm just going to stir his up like this.
You just going to put the cheese on the top of this one?
I am, yeah. But I am going, you know what? I'm going to use the rest of these tomatoes. I'm not going to have to use that tomato sauce. Okay. So I'm just going to stir his up like this. Now, this is how I would do it if I was doing it for me and Roy. But when I'm sending something off, I like it to look a little prettier. So, all right. That was potatoes, my meat mixture, sauteed onions, tomatoes, and I'm just going to put some cheese on top. And I'm going to put it in a 350-degree oven. And it's going to take it probably 20 minutes because it's smaller and it's not as thick. All right. That's Mike's little potato ground beef and potato casserole.
This is a delicious casserole.
It is so good. Okay.
And one you can do with sausage too. You don't have to do it with beef.
You can. All right, we'll see y'all back in about 30 minutes.
Grandma, that's looking good.
Okay, y'all. This is my little casserole that I made for Mike, and that's the big one that I made for Hannah, Hunter, and the girls. And I'm not going to taste of them. I know how good they are, but I don't.
Tomatoes you put on top.
I know,
really
isn't
make
that
it pretty,
beautiful?
Doesn't it? Yeah, beautiful casserole.
And it's hot, hot. I just took it out of the oven, so y'all.
That'll feed 8.
Oh yeah, yeah.
10.
They'll have leftovers. They'll have enough for tonight, and then they'll have leftovers for tomorrow. So this is just a quick, easy casserole that you can make, and it is so good. It is really delicious. I have been making it for years and years. I made it when my kids were growing up. I fed it to my grandkids. Now I'm feeding it to my great-grands, and they all love it. It's simple. It's easy. Thank y'all for joining me today. Remember, I got to pick it up with this. Food feeds the family. Family feeds the heart. God feeds the soul. This is really, really good, y'all. Please share this video. Subscribe to my channel. Hit that little notification bell. Leave me a comment. And I won't see you again today, but I'll probably see you in the morning. So, love y'all.
And if you haven't gone and seen her hot chocolate recipe, we did it yesterday, I think.
This morning.
And y'all look it up, because you're gonna want that during the holiday seasons.
When you get our age, one day rolls into another. So